Hello, and this is your Commodore Tycols with a rumor alert.
Bridge to all decks. Condition alert. All decks. Condition alert.
So, we've been bombarded with rumors about what's happening with Spider-Man now that he's back with the MCU. And this is one that needs to be addressed. This is from WeGotThisCovered.com. So I'm going to read the report here. Rumors continue to swirl thick and fast about Spider-Man returning to the MCU. One of them concerns a possible future team-up between Peter Parker and the Fantastic Four. As we all know, the Fantastic Four was originally owned by Fox, but now is in control of Marvel Studios. So this is going to be interesting. So continuing, who've recently been brought into the franchise after a long legal battle and are set to make their debut in the Cinematic Universe's Phase 5. I don't know why they don't want to include them in Phase 4, because it is the Fantastic Four. Like, come on! It writes itself. According to YouTuber Lord of the Long Box, yay, great, they are getting their information from a YouTuber. Spider-Man will have a deeply personal relationship with the first family of superheroes in the Marvel Comics. In fact, Peter will show up in one of the Fantastic Four movies and apparently come to see Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards, as a mentor of sorts, both in terms of science and his professional life. Okay. In previous films in the MCU, the role of a mentor to Spider-Man, which had traditionally been served by his Uncle Ben. Okay, because they kill Uncle Ben in almost every movie at the beginning of it anyway, was transferred to Tony Stark. The two had a much deeper relationship than work friends. They did. And like Uncle Ben, Tony kicked the bucket in the last MCU movie, Avengers Endgame. Not the last MCU movie, the big MCU movie. Okay, let's just continue. And Peter was hit the worst by Stark's death. Didn't seem like it. Even going so far as to try to find a replacement father figure in the form of Mysterio. He did do that. But in Spider-Man Far From Home, Peter just wanted to be a kid in his high school field trip. And he thought that Tony let him decide who was going to be the next big name. And I do agree with the next statement on this article to that disastrous effects. No shit if you watch Far From Home. Okay, let's continue. Tony's former home, the Avengers Tower, is apparently going to be turned into Baxter Building as well, with the arrival of the Fantastic Four, and it's the role of Tony in Parker's life that Richard is supposed to fulfill. I can see that happening. It'd be interesting, because Peter does need that father figure to point him in the right direction. Advising the young Spidey on scientific matters in addition to what it means to be a hero. Again, I do agree with that. This sort of familiar relationship between the webbed wall crawler and Mr. Fantastic follows closely from the comics, of course. When Spider-Man initially got his powers, one of the first things he did was try to become a part of the Fantastic Four. That would be a very interesting aspect of a movie if the MCU decides to go that way. Even though that they already made Spider-Man a part of the Avengers. It'd be interesting to see especially after the results of the last Spider-Man movie, it'd be interesting to see what does Peter Parker do now that his identity is exposed and people think he's a criminal. When Spider-Man, carrying on with the article, when Spider-Man initially got his powers, one of the first things he did was to try to become a part of the Fantastic Four. I just read that. Well, the plan didn't work out. Peter went on to become quite close with the team, even counting Johnny Storm, that was the Human Torch, if anyone doesn't know, among his best friends in the hero community. It remains to be seen how much of this pans out when the Fantastic Four finally make their appearance in the MCU, and how the existing heroes in the cinematic universe reacts to the arrival of the group. But, can certainly let us know as soon as we hear more about the Marvels got planned for the gang. So they're saying, we're hoping this happens, we want to see this happen, and as soon as we learn more, we'll let you know, as will I. But we gotta remember, take this as a grain of salt. This is only a rumor. That's why it's a rumor alert to people. Be on guard. This might change. There'll probably be floods of information coming about what's going to happen with the Fantastic Four, what's going to happen with Spider-Man in the near future. I'll probably try to report more stuff about Spider-Man because that's more we know is going to happen. But this would be an interesting take on what they do with the Fantastic Four. It'd be an interesting way. It'd be a great way to introduce the Fantastic Four to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bring him in with a very well-known and well-liked member with Spider-Man, who's been shown as very popular with the MCU, who's becoming very financially good with the MCU. And now that Sony has agreed to let Spider-Man stay part of the MCU, this would be a perfect thing to bring in the Fantastic Four, especially now that Tony Stark is gone. Spider-Man does need that father figure. And by reading this, at least it gives us a hint that Marvel might want to bring in an older person to play Mr. Fantastic, which I know. Auntie Trekker, I've watched your live streams, I've watched your videos. You want to see happen with you want to see an older man play Mr. Fantastic because that's how he is in the comics. So let's all hope this happens. But remember, people, as I can't stress this hard enough, this is only a rumor. This is only a report by one person, another YouTuber, but it makes sense. And I hope it happens. But for now, this is your Commodore, Ty Coles, signing off. Live long and prosper, people. Healing Frequencies closed. Thank you for watching Commodore Ty and enjoying this video. I hope you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if while you're here, check out one of my other videos. Live long and prosper. Hailing Frequencies closed.